Hello, hello. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the live. Brandy, hey, hey. Donzel, hey, happy Sunday. Welcome in. I will let people come in before we start working on today's design. So we're going to be working on a split mama design that I created in Hatch. I share with the Facebook group and my channel members, and some people were going to do it on their own. Other people wanted to have me walk them through it. So that's what we're going to do today. Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, me too, Donzel. I finally have a normal work schedule, so I can go live again. It's either going to be every Sunday or every other Sunday. I'm still working my schedule out, but yeah. Let's see. Hey, welcome in. Hey, Amy, how are you? Vanessa, hey, what's going on, lady? Dawn, hey, Kim, what's going on with you? What's up, sis? So I have the mama design that I dropped in the Facebook group. I also sent to all the channel members. We're going to be working on that today because some people didn't quite know how to do it. So I'm gonna basically walk you through how to do the split embroidery design today. So if you have the file, you have your sweatshirt, your shirt, your test fabric. If you're trying this out for the first time, I do suggest using like scrap fabric or old t-shirt, something like that, just to make sure you get the hang of it before you actually stitch it onto your garment. So you want to make sure that you understand how split designs works, that you stitch one out, you do your test stitch, and then you go back and stitch it onto your garment. So I don't want you messing up any of your garments. Hello, hello. Welcome in, y'all. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Tammy, hey, hey. Still recovering. Still recovering. All my drinks were comped. So yeah, still recovering. Still got my cough, but my cold is long gone. But I still have this cough I can't get rid of. You would think like I've been smoking cigarettes for like 30 years and I don't smoke. But yeah, I can't get rid of the cough. But even with the cough, the birthday was fun. Celebrated last night. Hey, hey. Oh, that's Donzel saying hey to Sharon and Sandra. You wanted the peeps, you want to see the split designs. And I'm going to have some more split designs coming that I'm also going to drop in the Facebook group. And then I'm going to have some custom designs just for my channel members because y'all are supporting my channel. So I'm going to have some custom designs for y'all that I've been working on. And as well as I've been working on some combination of embroidery and rhinestone designs and just a bunch of stuff I've been doing behind the scenes since I haven't been on live for a minute. Hey, Gail, how are you? Let me see anyone's comment I missed. Hey, hey, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. Blue Emerald, how are you? Thank you, Sharon. Yes, you guys, please make sure you hit that like button. If you're just watching, hit the subscribe button as well. And while we're here, you know, I'm still on my birthday vibes. I know some of y'all saw the video or the pictures I was posting last night when me and the hubby were out. But my birthday isn't actually till Tuesday, the 14th. But yes, please hit that like and subscribe. And I'm gonna let a few more people get in here. I'm looking for a few people that asked me in a Facebook group if I, made sure that they were in the live so they could see the process of doing the split design. And let me just grab it. So this is And it's going to have a satin outline as well, but it's going to be this mama design is just a split design. So that way you can use your repositional hoop. And actually I need to grab mine. Give me one sec. So your 5 by 12 repositional hoop. This is what the design is going to call for, because you can't do it with the standard 5 by 7 hoop that your embroidery machine comes with. So you do have to have the repositional hoop. You can get them from Amazon. I got mine from Amazon. I want to say it was maybe like 20 bucks, if that. Thank you very much, Donzel. I appreciate that. I'm 40 something for like the 5th year in a row. But we are going to get started shortly. Just wanted to say what's up to everyone. I finally have a normal work schedule, so your girl will be going back live on Sundays now. It's either going to be every Sunday or every other Sunday, at least every other Sunday. So I'll be live more now that I have a regular work schedule, because before I had like Wednesdays and Sundays off, and then my schedule moved to Fridays and Saturdays off, and now I'm Saturdays and Sundays off. So the machine I'm going to be using is the Brother PE 900 machine that has a 5 by 7 hoop. Most of the embroidery machines that has at least a 5 by 7 hoop, you can use the repositional hoop. You can also use it on a 4 by 4, but the design is split into 3. So it's going to be, you know, the first half of it, the middle portion, and then the end. So I'll do that. That'll be a tutorial for another day, because there's a few moving parts with that. But you can do repositional designs with a 4 by 4 hoop. It's just a little bit extra work. One extra step than what I'm going to show you today. I'm new to embroidery. It's still in the box. Will be coming out soon. Yes, take it out the box. We got to get that machine out the box so we can get you embroidering. Hey, Angelique, how are you? Aw, thank you, Donzel. I appreciate that. Let's see. My son just turned 49 and his wife still 39 on his cake. I know that's right. She won't let him be older because she's right behind him. Okay. Yeah. My daughter asked me, like, so how old are you this year? I'm like, first of all, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Niall. Welcome in. Okay, Dale. So you have a 4 by 4. So yeah, I'll have to split a design for a 4 by 4. I'll test it out, and then I'll put it in the Facebook group and then do a live tutorial on it. Because I do know a lot of people that reach out to me. They're just getting started. Of course, they don't want to invest in a multi-needle machine quite yet, but they're looking at single needle machines. You know, maybe they just want to get started, test the waters. So yeah, I'll make sure to do one for those that have a 4 by 4 hoop, so that way you can do larger designs. You would just, if you don't digitize, you would just have to let your digitizer know that you needed a 3 split design for a repositional hoop, and they'll split it for you, and that way you'll get 3 separate embroidery files. That way you can set it up on your machine correctly and then stitch out a larger design. Which one? The one for 4 by 4 machine or 4 by 4 hoops? Thank you, Kim. Yes, you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Let me look at the comments here, and I'm going to StreamYard actually up their prices, and I cannot share multiple cameras anymore on their middle plan. And they moved the camera share feature to the advanced plan. And I'm not going to pay double just to share camera, but I have found an alternative to StreamYard, which is Restream, and they have the extra camera for the same cost of what I'm paying now. So I just didn't get it set up in time. It still had to kind of have that permission from YouTube and connected all that stuff. So I didn't get it set up in time, but next time I'll be able to share both this camera and the camera facing the machine. So I'll end up switching from this camera here, and I have my other camera on my phone ready to go so you can see exactly what I'm doing over here. But yeah, that's what's going on today. We'll get started shortly. Mine is a 4x4. Okay, yours is a 4x4. I got you. Yeah, there's quite a few people that have 4x4, and I don't want y'all to be left out. So I will show you how you could do larger designs. It took me a while to figure it out, but I'm like, okay, if I can go from a 5x7 to a 5x12, I should be able to do the same with a 4x4. And then that's when it clicked. I'm like, I just have to split the design more times. So that's what we're going to do. Well, the next live. Hey, precious pieces, how are you? So you do it on not on Facebook. Yeah, I will do it on YouTube, but I will drop the file in my Facebook group. Do you not have like a Facebook at all? And I feel you on that. If I didn't have to have a personal Facebook page to have a group, I probably would, because I really don't post. I just post stupid stuff on there, like silly stuff. But I feel you on that. Okay, thank you. My granddaughter expect. Oh, congratulations in May. And I like to make her a Mama Established 2025 shirt. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I would definitely help you out with that. Make that file. Doing good. Oh, I think talking to Donzel. Oh, okay, you're not on Facebook at all. Got you. All right. Okay, so I will share it on the community page. Normally, I put the designs in the Facebook group, and I'll share them a link to Google Drive for my channel members. So that's where you'll be able to get the files that I create. I am going to start adding files to my website for purchase for digital download as well. I just really wanted to not perfect, just be really, really good at digitizing. I felt I was good for my designs I was creating for myself. But when you're selling your stuff to other people, you want to make sure it's right. And so I think that's kind of why I held off. And I did took some extra digitizing classes so I could really hone in on my digitizing skills. And so I feel like now I'm at a point where I feel comfortable enough to share some designs. Hey, love your channel. I have a brother, PE535, bought a repositional hoop 4x7. Okay, yeah, they do have the 4x7s. How do I split to make a larger design? So either you have to, if you don't digitize yourself, you would have to let your digitizer know that the file needs to be split, because you're going to be using a repositional hoop, and they'll send you 2 different files. One will be for your first half and one will be for your second half. Otherwise, if you do digitize, what I can do, I'll have to do a tutorial. Maybe when I'm working on my next one, I'll just record it so you can see how I split my designs. And I use Hatch Digitizer 3 for my digitizing. Now said, that's what I'm working on now. Are you working on digitizing? Digitizing is a great skill to have, because people need digitizers. Not everyone wants to learn how to digitize it. It does take some time. I've been learning and teaching myself for probably about a year and a half, probably 2 years. And Yeah, it does take some time, and you do have to continuously practice. So I'm always practicing. Hello, PYD Live. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining the live. Appreciate you. PYD Live has some amazing sublimation blanks, heat presses, mug presses, tumblers, all that stuff. So make sure you guys check them out. Stitching hearts. Hey, everyone. Oh, you ain't missed it. You right on time. I haven't started yet. I'm waiting for more people to come in because I know some people asked me in a Facebook group. Some people messaged me privately, like, please don't start until I'm in the chat. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to get started probably like another 5 minutes. And we'll first start by, I'll go over everything that you need, which will be your sweatshirt or t-shirt or practice fabric, practice t-shirt, whatever it is, your repositional hoop. You'll need stabilizer, which I forgot that. I got to cut a piece of stabilizer. And if you want to do it with some glitter, now, if you're just practicing, I would hold off on like glitter or fabric. But if you already are comfortable with repositional designs and want to go ahead, then go ahead and grab your glitter HTV or any fabric that you want to use, or if you just want to make it plain, this step, it wouldn't apply. But I am going to do mine with glitter HTV, but do it how you want to. Hey, good afternoon, Betty. How are you doing? Oh, you are very much welcome. I have Embrilliance. So you can split designs in Embrilliance. I did test out Embrilliance maybe for only like 30 days, so I didn't get that familiar with it. But I know there are some tutorials that I've seen that I believe will show you how to do split designs. I'm not sure if Embrilliance has like tutorials inside of their software like Hatch does that teaches you how to do different things, but try checking that out and see if there's a tutorial on that. But it would be pretty much, a lot of the embroidery softwares are pretty similar, and I guess not how they look. A lot of them look a little bit different, but a lot of how you do things, how you do your designs in there, pretty much similar. So once you learn how to digitize, it's basically just learning that software. So I'm sure, I know you can do it in Embrilliance. I just don't know how. And I just can't buy another software. I got too many. I got softwares I don't even use. Oh, digitizing, yes. It is definitely worth it. I have started doing some digitizing work on the side now that I've gotten to a place where I'm comfortable with digitizing for others. So yeah, definitely do it. Hello, welcome in, Anna. I also digitize, but not for sales. Yeah, just for designs. I want for myself. Okay, and I've done a few for my church. Yeah, you definitely don't have to digitize for others. You don't have to sell your designs or anything like that. That's what I was doing initially, just making designs for stuff that I sell on my website. And then from there, as people started asking me for embroidery files, or do I have it for sale, or where can they get it, or can I digitize for them, I wasn't quite ready. So, but now I'm like, okay, I'm slowly taking on, it depends on the designs when people reach out to me for digitizing, because at the same time, I still work a job, I still run a business, I still create content, I'm still a mother, I'm still a wife, I still got to have a life outside of all of this. And, so yeah, it just depends on the file that a person wants digitized. You are not late, my friend. We are getting started in a couple minutes on our split design. So you are right on time. I'm just chatting with everybody. I have not been live for the longest. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. So we're making the mama split design using the 5x12 repositional hoop. And I'll be using my brother PE 900. So I'm going to bring the camera over here in just a second, or switch cameras to the camera over here. So that way you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. Hey, hey, how are you? Welcome in, everybody that's just joining. Oh, okay, here we go. You can do split designs in enthusiast part of Embroidery. So there you go. So you can, well, I know that you can split them in there, but I just don't know the process, or I can't tell you where to go to do it. But yeah, it definitely is in there, and that's confirmation. Thank you so much, Shantae. And Shantae is a good digitizer as well. So welcome in, welcome in. Okay, the basics are very similar. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying too, Shantae, is that once you learn how to digitize, it's really about learning a particular software where everything is within that software. But once you have the skills and the knowledge of digitizing, then those skills will transfer with you over to other softwares. And I think I've tried about 4 or 5 Kim, how many softwares have I tried? I'm always telling Kim about my software. It's like, oh, I got this and I've been trying this. I want to say I had I can't even remember the name of the software, but I like the layout of it. I can't even think of the name of it. So that one, I tried Embroidery, of course, Hatch. I did try Wilcom, which is the upgraded version of Hatch Digitizer 3, and woo, that software is amazing, but it's like $3,000. Now, if I was a full-time digitizer, it would be worth it. But right now, I'm not a full-time digitizer, and I'm cool with Hatch. And what else did I try? Was it Sewit Pro? It was something else. I've tried a few, y'all. And yeah, it's pretty much the same. And PYD Life said, hey, everybody. Yes, make sure to check them out. And they also have a DTF machine, which I've been eyeing. I've been looking into DTF, but I'm not quite there yet. But check them out. They have tutorials on their YouTube as well. Let's see. And I don't have my glasses on. I probably should put them on. There are some really good YouTube tutorials on Embroidery. Okay, there are multiple modules for Embroidery. Okay, and you can purchase. And if you decide to dive, okay, so they have levels, just like Hatch. Yeah, Embroidery does have the different levels. Hatch has the different levels. Most of the embroidery softwares have like different levels. If you just want to do lettering or doing updates to a design that maybe you purchased or had digitized, you could go in and do edits on your designs on different levels. Each level comes with more features that you'll have access to. Shantae said, hey, PYD Live. And Stitch Artist. Okay, yeah, that's the one I was using. I think I used Stitch Artist 2 because you could upload the PDF files and or not PDF, SVG files, and that way you could digitize the SVG design. So yeah, Stitch Artist is the one. Stitch Artist 2 is what I was using. Hey, Stephanie. I have a Ricoma. I have not used it yet. Really? Yeah, we got to get you using your Ricoma. You know what? I thought you were going to send me an email so we could schedule a one-on-one. And I probably need to check my spam folder. I tend to forget to do that. But yeah, we'll definitely get you because you have the EM1010, right? And now it would be a little bit different, but at the same time the same, if that makes sense. So yeah, we'll got to get you using that machine. Hey, I'm Bias. How are you? Hey, Merlinda. How are you doing, friend? Thank you, I'm Bias. So I'm about to switch the other camera. I'm gonna go through a few more comments and then, well, first I'll get the shirt hooped up, get that all set. So you would hoop the shirt up with the repositional hoop, just like you would your 5x7 hoop, your 4x4 hoop. You're just gonna hoop it up the exact same way. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get my shirt hooped up. I gotta cut off a piece of stabilizer first, and then I'll get the shirt hooped up and move you guys over here and we'll start stitching out the design. I'll show you how to load each part of the design and we'll do all the things. Let me just check the comments here before I get started. But I do have Kim in here. She is modding for me. I might have to make somebody else a mod just so y'all can watch the comments, answer questions as I'm kind of working. Let's see. Okay, I've been buying from Etsy now. I want to do names instead of designs. So if you want to just do like names, you don't have to purchase a digitizer level of embroidery software. I would say, depending on the software you're looking at or considering, look at what comes with each level and make sure you're selecting the level that you need for what you want to do for your digitizing. But usually the lettering is usually with most of the first or the basic or beginner levels. I also know in Ricoma, which is Chroma, which is Ricoma's software, you can do lettering in there because their software has levels as well that you could select from. So that's another software also. Oh yeah, that is one of the other softwares I use. Don't be. You know, I'm gonna walk you through it. You know, my tutorials, I'll be trying to be as detailed as possible so y'all understand exactly what is going on. Thrifty Nichols, welcome in. Hey, how are you doing today? Bless hands. And let me see. And let me hold on, Merlinda. I was trying to make you a mod. Hold on, I'm probably have to do it inside of YouTube Studio. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. Merlinda. Okay, Merlinda, I added you as a mod. Okay, Unbiased said most free versions will allow you to do lettering. So there you go. You may not even have to pay for it. So definitely check that out. You ready? All right, let's do this. So I am going to first kind of move my machine a little bit and I'm going to start hooping up my shirt and then I'll bring switch cameras. Let me grab, God, I had the stabilizer already open. So let me cut a piece of stabilizer first. And then we're going to get started. All right. Yeah, I really hate when they put, and is this my cutaway? Yeah, it is. I hate when they put this tape on here like this, because then it messes up my stabilizer. Let me grab my scissors. All right. And so I'm gonna just cut a piece just a little bit bigger than my hoop. And then we'll be good to go. have a rubber band so I can put around this. Unbiased. I'm 40-ish again. But my birthday isn't until Tuesday. I bless. Thanks for thank you, Unbiased. You as well. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, I cut this super crooked. Let me. Okay. Y'all, if y'all don't have power scissors, electric scissors, invest in some. Best choice I have ever made. And I also have a power rotary cutter. Love them, love them, love them. And I also am going to cut down my HTV as well. So I'm gonna need scissors again. And I got these from Amazon, and I have them linked in my Amazon storefront as well. But they're like $30, but definitely it'll be the best $30 you spend in. Okay, we don't need that extra piece. And then I'm gonna just cut this down just a little bit as well. Welcome in, everybody that is just joining. I'm just getting my stabilizer and vinyl cut so we can start our split design. Put that over there. And so I have those cut now. The HTV we won't need right at this second. And so I'll grab my sweater. This is a Gildan heavy blend sweatshirt that I'm using. Use any, again, if this is your first time doing a split design, use some scrap fabric, use an old t-shirt, use something first to make sure you can get your design lined up, everything's good, everything turns out good before you start embroidering on your actual garment, or before you start using your HTV glitter, or if you're going to do a fabric applique, because this is an applique design as well. Let's see. Oops. Hey, pretty eyes, how are you? Oh, your electric rotary cutter. So yeah, that one is pretty much the same, but you kind of have to get it underneath there, like that, before you start to cut. And actually, this one might be dead. I need to charge. Oh, no, it's not. So you actually have to like put it underneath there. I probably should have did that, but you'll want to have it kind of down on your mat and then cut it that way. So you'll just want to put it on there to get it started and then start cutting unbiased. But the rotary cutter and the scissors, great investment. Do you use the electric rotary cutter with rulers? You can. Yeah, you definitely can. It also has like this little, I don't even know what this is called here. Let me bring it up close to the camera. So this here, kind of like a guide. So it helps you keep everything straight, but you can have like a ruler on the side of here and then cut like that with your ruler. So you can do that. Oh yeah, if you have arthritis, definitely, Gil. That is so true. Might have some plan. Oh, he's gonna be my driver to Impressions in a couple weeks. So that's gonna be my birthday gift from him. And I'm gonna get my my t-shirt ruler. One sec, y'all. So t-shirt ruler, got that from Amazon as well. If you don't have a t-shirt ruler, you can always just fold your shirt in half and crease it. You can press it so you'll have a line so you'll know where your center is for your placement. So I am going to just get this hooped up first before I switch the camera. So just hoop it up like you normally would any other design, any other fabric garment, your t-shirt, your sweatshirt. You're going to be doing this exact same process. And then we'll get my brother turned on and we will get started. Okay, I'm just checking the comments. And so Marlinda is modding for me and Kim is modding for me. If anybody else wants to mod, just let me know so y'all can help me out with the comments. Hey, Gabby, how are you? Just getting everything hooped up. Just trying to see which way I want to hoop everything. And this, before I hoop this up, the repositional hoop has 4 different connector or, little marks here, little holes here where you're going to connect it to your machine. So today we're going to be using 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. So if you were doing a 4x4 with the 3 split design instead of 2 splits, then you do 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4. So that's how you would do the split design for a 4x4 hoop, but split into 3 instead of 2 like we're going to do today. All right, let me get this in here and then I'll get my stabilizer in here and then we'll get everything hooked up. And just making sure my placement is good. If you don't have a t-shirt ruler, then just use your 4 fingers and just measure it down from the collar. And that way you'll know where you'll want to place your hoop for your design. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Now I have that where I need it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my stabilizer in here. Without trying to move my hoop. And I just moved my hoop. So I'm going to adjust that back and I'm going to move my t-shirt ruler now. And then we're going to switch over to the machine view camera so we can get this stitched out. And I will be making some more split designs for y'all. I'll be dropping them in the Facebook group and sending the link for the Google Drive for the channel members as well. All right. And I'm just double checking again before I press it in here that everything looks good. My placement looks good. And I'm using cutaway stabilizer for this. If you're using anything that you're wearing, you should be using cutaway stabilizer. You know, like the saying goes, if you wear it, don't tear it. So yeah, definitely want to use cutaway when you're making garment sweatshirts. I'm just trying to find where my screw is so I can tighten this back up. And just checking out. Oh, Merlinda just asked that cutaway stabilizer. Yep, Merlinda, if you wear it, don't tear it. Exactly. Exactly. All right, we have her all hooked up. So that's what we're looking like right now. And you want to make sure that you do have your garment hooped up tight. If you tap it, it should almost sound like a drum. So I'm gonna actually tighten mine a little bit more, and okay, I'm good. So let me go ahead and switch the camera. Thank you. Thank you so much. Creative Craft Bar. Let me go into my settings and let me move this one over here. And okay, there we go. It's a little bit, seems like it's a little bit of a delay. Okay, I'm gonna put it like right there. All right, so I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer as well. And I do already have my machine threaded. So that is ready to go. And I have my design on my flash drive here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. And then we will, let me check my bobbin. That's one thing I don't do. And I need to change that. One sec, let me get a new bobbin. That's exactly why I have this up here, because I forget all the time. And I'm just gonna pop that one out. Yeah, look at that. I hardly had none left in there. That would have been all bad. And with this other camera, can y'all still hear me okay? Hey, Karen. Thank you, Betty, for the birthday wish. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, everybody said yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, Marlinda, always check your bobbin, because you don't want to be in the middle of a project, it's stitching out good, and then it's you get that, you hear that beep, and it's like check bobbin thread. And then especially with the single needle machines, because you have a drop-in bobbin here, you know, then you got to unhoop everything, and then, you know, put your bobbin in and rehoop it and get your shirt resituated. So yeah, double check and make sure you guys have bobbin before you start your design. Or if you're like me, put a note up there if you tend to forget. So now we have our bobbin in there. Yeah, and normally I do use black because it's going to be on the inside. No one's going to see it. I usually either use black, white, or gray. 9 times out of 10, I'm using black. But it is a matter of preference if you want to or not. And I'm also going to grab some clips here. And these are just for once I get the shirt on here, just to kind of roll it up and clip it out the way. That way, you know, nothing gets stitched together. So when you're hooping it up, so we're going to start now. It's going to depend on which way you hoop it up. So if you have your collar this way, you're going to start on this side of the design, or you're going to have to turn it around. Now I think about it, I want to make it easier for y'all. So now I'm like, maybe I should turn this around the other way. Let me think about that for a sec. Because if you're new to multi-embroidery designs, then, or split design, then I want to make it easy as possible for y'all. Oh, you always use white. Yeah, a white or black, pretty much. No one's going to see it. What really matters is your top color, your upper thread, because that's what's going to show. Let me see. Which direction did I send y'all the file in? Let's do that first. And you do want to have your hoop set to 5x7. What did I do with the design? Let's see. Oh, here we go. So I do have it the opposite way. So I'm actually going to turn my hoop the other way so I don't confuse y'all, especially if you're new to it. Now, if you've done multi or split designs, then you don't have to, but yeah, I'm going to. Or you can just rotate it, but you want to make sure that you're rotating the correct one. And that's where I don't want to get y'all confused. Okay, I was going to ask if the bobbin thread needs to match. Nope, it does not need to match because no one's going to see the bobbin thread. Greg, hey Greg, I need help embroidering on sleeve of hoodie. Okay, Greg, I could definitely do a tutorial. Do you have a single needle or multi needle? Because I can definitely show you that. So yeah, I am going to rehoop my sweatshirt. And so instead of the hoop being, even though I do prefer it to be at the opening, I just don't want y'all to do any extra work and then you try to rotate it and it doesn't rotate correctly or is not aligned for whatever reason. And then on the design too, you can kind of see like a red line on the first half and then a blue line on the second half. So that's letting you know how the design is actually split. Let me see. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Welcome in. Oh, okay, Greg, you have the PE 900. So yeah, I can show you that as well. So you can, there's a couple ways that you can do it. I'm just trying to see here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around. Give me 1 second. Let me rehoop the correct way. So I'm gonna unloosen my hoop, pop that off, and so my collar is here, and then the bottom of the hoop I'm going to turn this way. So the part that you connect to your machine here is going to be facing towards the collar. So let me get this all lined up and even. And I'll probably use my chalk pencil this time to mark a center point. So I'm going to just grab my ruler here. And mark our center point again. All right, so I'm gonna just mark it a little line here with my chalk pencil. And this does erase or it will wash away. So I'm just going to mark that there. Now we can get this rehooped. And again, the connectors are going to go towards the collar. So I'm going to go ahead and get that into my shirt. And let me move the camera a little bit so you see a little bit better. Hey, Jesse. And once I get it where I need to be, right near that white line that I just put with my chalk. Make sure it is centered. And then I'll go ahead and put in my stabilizer here. Cutaway stabilizer. Whenever you are working on clothes, use cutaway. Patches, you can use tearaway. Hats, you can use tearaway. But anything that you're going to wear on your body, even though a hat is on your body, but anything you're going to wear, any type of clothes, I would use cutaway. And I'm just getting this all straightened out, making sure everything's even. There is my line that I marked, just making sure that is where I want it. Because once you stitch this, it is permanent, so you don't want a crooked design. And if you need to unhoop and rehoop, you can definitely do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and tighten my hoop up. Welcome in, everybody, if you're just joining. Good, Deborah, good. And just getting this tight. And again, you want that to sound like a drum. All right, so now you're going to have to pretty much kind of get your shirt off of the, you want to make sure none of your shirt is on this back part here. If so, you're going to stitch your shirt together. So, and this design, when you're using this repositional hoop, you really can't walk away, okay? You want to stay near your machine, because if something happens to move while the machine is moving or stitching out, then you could accidentally embroider your sleeve or, you know, anything like that. So just make sure when you're doing these designs that you are watching your machine. And so, and then you just want to feed your shirt up underneath your foot. And we're slowly getting it underneath there. And let me move this back up so make sure y'all can see that good. All right, there we go. And then, so we're going to use the first two connectors on here. So 1 and 2, we're going to use those first. And sorry if my head is in the way of the camera. I just need to see, make sure I'm hooping the right ones. Okay. And I'm going to bring this a little bit closer. And so this is what I was talking about with the clips. Clips will help you make sure your embroidery field stays clear. You can also roll it up, you know, whatever works for you. I like to just go around and kind of clip like this around the edge, kind of keep that out the way. There we go. And then same here. And then you'll want to do that in the back as well. Since we're going to be stitching this part out first, I would really definitely focus on this section here for those first 2 letters, the MA. And then when we move it, then you could clip the rest for the other half of the design. All right. And then again, I'm just checking to make sure there's nothing underneath, no part of the shirt, because you don't want to stitch your shirt together. And so the design, let me move this a little bit closer here. So the design is going to be in 2 separate parts here. So you're going to try to move this. And I'm going to move it down a little bit. Okay, so the design is going to have 2 different files here. All right, so you're going to have this first design and then the second design. Now, you might not be able to see it here, but there's going to be a red line right at the end of the A, and that is the first design or the first half. And then the second design where it's going to be the second part that you're going to use for the design has like a blue line right by the M. So that'll be your indicator that, okay, this needs to go first and this needs to go second. Also, I did, when I download the designs, I label them like Mama 1, Mama 2, or whatever the first half is, -1, the second half -2. So that way you'll know. You can also upload them into your machine labeled that way as well. So you'll know which half needs to go first. Because if you accidentally stitch out or select the first one, then your design is not going to stitch out right. It's most likely going to overlap. So we're going to go ahead and select the first MA. You should be able to see that little red line, or it should say Mama -1. So we'll select that and we're going to set it. It's going to come into your hoop just like that. You don't need to move it. Don't resize it. If you do, you're most likely going to stitch out your design incorrectly. It's not going to stitch out right. So don't make any adjustments. If you want it bigger, or if you want any adjustments, upload it to your digitizing software and make those adjustments, or reach out to your digitizer and say, hey, can you make this bigger and resend me the split file? So that way you don't mess up the design or your garment. All right. And so now that we have our design loaded, then we'll go ahead and I'm gonna hit edit in. And then we want to do a trace. So you always, I don't care what you're embroidering, do a trace. This is kind of like your second set of eyes before you hit that embroidery button. This way you'll know the design placement is where you need it to be. With a split design, you will not have to change anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit, it looks like a square with a little arrow, and it's gonna move. And this way you'll know where the first half is going to embroider, and it's going right there to that middle mark, which is another indicator on your hoop. It does have like these little notches there, so you'll know where the center is, and it should trace to about that center. And let's see if I can show you. And we'll go. So right here, there's a little notch there. So your foot should, and the needle should be lining up with that center. That's how you'll know that you have the first half centered where it needs to be. All right. So then I'm gonna go back to the center point. I'm gonna hit OK. And then now we'll be able to start embroidering. So then I'll hit the embroidery button here. And then it's going to do our placement stitch, and then it'll do our tack down stitch, and then it'll do the stitch out, and then we'll go in and we'll do our second one. Now this last one, which has one color or 1 minute, you can actually skip that, and that's something I'm going to have to delete from the file, because that's just giving like a basting stitch, which is something that you can remove. It's just basically lining up the design for you, helping you making sure that design is lined up. You can leave it there. I would say maybe as you get more comfortable, you won't need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my foot down. Long as your button is green, you're good to go. And we have our thread in, we checked our bobbin, so we're good to go. So we'll go ahead and hit start, and we'll let that start stitching out. And again, you'll just want to watch these so it doesn't accidentally, your shirt doesn't get caught underneath the foot, and then you end up stitching something together. So while that's going, let me go back to the comments and see what I missed. And Greg, I will do a separate video. Let me switch my camera for a second. There we go. So Greg, I will do a video showing you how to do the sleeve designs. You can do it a couple ways. You can either undo your seam, like use your seam ripper and undo the sleeve, And then you could use your 4x4, you can use your 5x7, you can use any size if you want to do like a really large sleeve design. Otherwise, you can use the 2x2 hoop, this hoop here. And you could do like, you know, a smaller sleeve design as well. So this one, you wouldn't have to use the seam ripper to open sleeve of your shirt, but it's limited to the size that you can do. And so if you're also, I wanted to let you know, if you're not doing any applique, if you're not adding fabric or HTV glitter, you can go ahead and we'll go to the next stitch. I'm gonna switch back to the other camera in 1 second, and then you could just let it stitch out. But this will be the part, once it does the first 2 placement stitches, is now where you could take your fabric or your glitter HTV or whatever you're using in there to go ahead, and then you can go ahead and add that or lay that down. I'm going to put one big piece down because with this design, you can do it, you know, the 2 pieces that are for each letter at one time, but you can just lay it down for the hoop and just do it just across in one piece. And once it finishes stitching out that satin stitch, you could just go ahead and rip that HTV glitter up. It comes up like butter. It comes up very easily. So you won't have to worry about any of your stitches popping or anything like that. Let me just check the comments, and then I'm going to switch the camera back. Hey, Greg has been a channel member for an entire year. Thank you so much, Greg, for showing my channel love and support. I appreciate you. I do have a lot of fun things planned this year for my channel members. More designs are going to be coming out monthly. Rhinestone, embroidery, sublimation, all the things. And I'm just trimming down my HTV a little bit more just to make sure that it fits into the hoop good. And then, of course, I'm going to remove my carrier sheet first. And I'm going to cut it down a little bit more. And let me know if you have any questions before we get back to it. And just getting this cut down, make sure that fits in there good. And I'm just going to kind of measure, lay it in here. Make sure that it fits in there good. And yeah, that works for me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera. Hey, Sean, happy Sunday. How are you doing? So we'll go back to, all right. So now I know you probably can't see it that good because it is white on this gray material, but we have our placement stitch. So here is where you want to add your fabric or your HTV glitter. So first things first, you have to remove your carrier sheet from your HTV glitter. You want to separate those. Do not leave this carrier sheet on. It will not turn out good. Trust me, I have done it on both my single needle and multi-needle machines. All right, so I got that all torn off. And look how pretty this is. This is a rainbow white glitter HTV, y'all. This is so cute. Okay, so again, if you want to, you can just cover just the initial MA, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put the whole thing in here because I'm going to use the same glitter for the entire design. And just smooth it out. And I'm just making sure that it's where I need to be, and that is covering everything. And now that back half is quite not, I didn't lay that all the way down yet. We'll get to that once we get to the second half of the design. So now I'll go ahead and let my foot down, and this is going to be our tack down stitch. So if now I'm using HTV glitter, because I'm using HTV glitter, I'm just going to let it completely stitch out, and then I'll tear it off at the end. If you're using fabric, after this 2-minute placement stitch, you're going to have to unhoop and cut your fabric away, and then you're going to rehoop. You're not going to now you're not going to unhoop your shirt. You're just going to detach your hoop from the machine. So throughout this process, do not unhoop your sweatshirt. Do not try to move anything around, because if you do, your design will not line up. So now I'm going to go ahead and let it do that tack down stitch. And normally I will just kind of hold it, on the end for a few seconds while I start stitching to make sure that my HTV does not move. And so I'll just kind of do like that. And let it do its thing. Hey, Linda Gray, how are you? Thank you, Unbiased. Yeah, that is super cute. Like, I like it. I've almost used the entire roll of it up already. And again, it's just going to do, the first two, so you'll know where you'll need to cut. If you're using fabric, you'll know where you'll need to cut at. This up a little bit until my camera, so you can see it a little bit better. And I just had to go in and smooth that glitter out, because it did shift a little bit, because, yeah, really didn't cut it down to size. And if you're using HTV glitter, once you finish the entire stitch out, then you'll want to press it. So you'll want to take it to your heat press, or, if you don't have a heat press, you'll want to use your iron, and you'll want to make sure you press the glitter HTV so it adheres to the shirt. And so our tack down stitch is done. If you're using fabric, or actually, no, it's not done. It has to do the center part of the end. So now this is going to be the point where if you're using fabric, you got to unhoop from your machine, cut around your stitches. I would suggest using some applique scissors like these here. They'll have that nice curve to them, so you can get around in, all around those letters, and make sure you get it very close. This way, these scissors help you from cutting through your threads. So definitely invest in a good pair of applique scissors. These are Viking applique scissors. I got these from Joann's. You can order them from Amazon, but make sure you get you a good sharp pair of applique scissors, because you will need them, especially if you're going to be doing applique. Oops, sorry, kicked the camera a little bit. Okay, so now our design is done. Then this part is going to take 15 minutes to do the satin stitch. So we're going to go ahead and let that go. And again, you want to keep an eye on it when you're doing the sweatshirts with this repositional hoop anytime. Even if you're using your 5x7 or your 4x4 hoop and you're working on a shirt or something like that, just watch your design, because you don't want anything getting stitched together. And so that is giving us a nice satin stitch so far. And those that may be working on the design along with me. Let me know how yours is going so far, or if you have any questions, or if you're just watching to just see the process. And then maybe you'll come back to this live later when you're working on it on your own, and then you can follow these same steps. And so I'll switch back to the other camera and chat with y'all while that first half is stitching out, and then we'll do our second half and get our shirt cleaned up. Thank you, Unbiased. Thank you. And so split designs are easy. I know a lot of people do get intimidated because, you know, what if it doesn't line up and things like that. That's why I make sure I test out my designs, usually on a piece of stabilizer, a piece of felt, something like that, just to make sure it lines up. Now, this was just the tack down stitch that I did, and I was just making sure that it did line up. I did do a full one, and I don't know what I did with it, but use a piece of stabilizer, use a piece of felt, use something like that if you want to test it, just to make sure you can get it to line up. And you can just skip to each part and just do the placement stitch to make sure everything's going to line up for you. So that is another way that you can test it before you actually start stitching anything out. But I would definitely suggest using scrap fabric if it's your first time. But as long as you follow the directions, then you'll be good. And when I do start putting these files on my Creative Fabrica page, as well as my website, they'll come with detailed instructions. So, you know, it'll give step 1, step 2, step 3. So you can follow along with the steps, or you can come back to this tutorial and, you know, follow through that way. Yes, I do have one-on-one classes that I have started doing again. You can email me. Let me drop my email for you, and we can get something scheduled. I normally do the one-on-ones either in the evening or on the weekends because I do work during the day. Actually, better yet, use this email. The other email, if you want a custom design, rhinestone embroidery design, then you can send it to my Patch Embroidery. This email, if you want to do a one-on-one or have questions, you can email me there. allthingssean@gmail.com. But I do have do one-on-ones. Just going through the comments, going back, see if I missed anything. No, looks like I didn't miss anything. And the M is close to done. It's halfway done. And so the first half in total, it'll take 18 minutes. The second half, same thing, 18 minutes. No, I am in Vegas. But I wish I was in Florida so I could be at the beach. You have been so helpful. Thank you you're welcome. You are very much welcome. I love to teach and train and things like that. So I'm glad my tutorials are helping you. So Yini, hey, how are you doing? Let me see here. Give me one sec. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I wish I was in Florida, but now I'm here in Vegas and it's like 44 degrees. Like my point of moving to the middle of the desert was to escape the snow and the cold in Wisconsin, and it's cold here. Like I just don't understand. It's not supposed to be 44 degrees in the desert. So you need to say hey to everybody in the chat. And I will be working on that 3-split design for those who have the 4x4. Now, if you have the 4x4, there is a repositional hoop, and it's going to be 4x7, I believe, or 4.5x7. I want to say 4x7. So you can get a 4x7 repositional hoop, but then the design is going to have to be no bigger than 7. So that's kind of making your machine like go from a 4x7 or a 4x4 to almost a 5x7 hoop. But I would say just get that 5x12 repositional hoop and then have your design split into 3 by your digitizer. If you're digitizing yourself, split it into 3, and then you'll just have to use how I was showing you in the beginning, how the hoop is, how it has those 4 little connectors. You'll have to do 1 and 2, and then you'll have to do 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4 if you're gonna try to use it on a 4x4 machine. But it is doable. I have done it. Good, Soyini. Yeah, I was saying earlier, Soyini, that I have a normal work schedule now. So I was off like Wednesdays and Sundays, and then I was off Fridays and Saturdays, and now I'm off Saturdays and Sundays. So y'all got me again on Sundays. Oh, thank you. 4 by 6.75. So yeah. And then your design still will have to be split because your machine will only recognize the max size that it can actually embroider. So like even with the PE 900 that I'm using in this tutorial, it's still, you have to select the 5x7, but you just have 2 different embroidery files that you're using on that one garment, if that makes sense. So our M is done. It's going to start working on the A, and that white on white looks really good, y'all. But yeah, 4 by 6.75 is the size. So if you want to embroider large, don't think just because you have a 4x4 hoop, you're limited. I always tell people to get the machine with the biggest embroidery hoop that you can afford. You know, don't break the bank trying to get the biggest, best, latest machine. Get what's within your budget and then work it from there. You can use the 5x12 hoop on the 535, the PE 535 by Brother. It just has to, your design just has to be split. And how I'm showing in this tutorial, how we're split or doing this design, you'll just have that extra step. You're going to have that. You're going to have, instead of having just that left and right, you're going to have that left, middle, and right of the design. So it's just going to be an extra step that you'll have to do, and you'll have to make sure the design is split into 3. So let your digitizer know you need this design split into 3, or if you're digitizing yourself, split it into 3. But you sure can. You are not limited as you're not as limited as you think with a 4x4 hoop. With that being your max field, embroidery field, you just have to know the workarounds. That's all, and just have to have those designs. I know that's right. I stay on Amazon. They're always here. And that's where I got the 5x12 hoop. It actually comes in a set of 4. So you'll get the 5x12, a 5x7, a 4x4, and the 2x2. So I want to say the whole entire set is like $20 to $25, but you'll have this one as well, which actually doesn't come with your machine. It may not come with your machine. I know it didn't come with mine, so I was able to get this and the repositional hoop, and I got an extra 4x4 and an extra 5x7 hoop. And I believe I have them linked in my Amazon storefront, but if you just search 5x12 embroidery hoop on Amazon, it's going to pop up. I've been wanting to learn this. Yay. Yeah, it's so many people get intimidated by split designs, and they're actually, as long as they're digitized correctly, as long as you don't completely unhoop your shirt. I had someone that reached out to me and was like, well, I unhooped my shirt and moved it over so I could let the second part stitch out. I'm like, no, you don't want to unhoop it. So I'm like, yeah, at this point, it's probably not going to work out. Or I was like, well, if you see hoop burn, if you got a hoop mark, you might be able to get it exactly lined back up, but I wouldn't risk that. Oh, shoot, look who in the building. Yolanda, what's going on with you, girl? I was just telling them we over here freezing in Vegas. It's 44 degrees out. I feel like I'm back home in Wisconsin. Like, this weather is so disrespectful. Best beginner machine. In my opinion, brother embroidery machines are really good if you're a beginner just starting out, very new to embroidery. I would say a brother machine, just because I had three brother embroidery machines. I have had no issues. I mean, minor stuff, but it was stuff that I did, jamming stuff up. But brother machines are just very user friendly, low maintenance, and easy to learn how to operate. So I would say start with a brother machine if you can. I would say like their PE 900, PE 800. I think it's a SE 700 or SE 725 or something like that. Even the PE 535 would be really good beginner machines. Now your PE 900 will run you about, I think now they're right around 1,000, 1,100. A PE 800 will be a couple $100 less. A PE 535 will be around $400-ish, I believe, maybe $5. So I would say start with a brother machine. Also, the threading the machine is very simple. It has an automatic needle threader, so it just will be a good beginner learning machine for you to invest in. I know I cut my workout short. Okay, I'm like, man, what's going on? It is freezing out. Like, I can't. I've been in the house, except for last night when we went out. But other than that, I'm in the house. Let's see. I brought the set with only 3 sizes, not knowing I can use the 5x12. You can. You'll still have to select 4x4 on your machine, but like we're doing now, you're going to do, your first half of the design, and then you'll move your hoop. You'll do the second half of the design. You'll move your hoop, and then you'll do the end part of the design. So again, it's just extra steps that you will have to take, but it can be done. And the first half is finished. So I'll go ahead and we're going to move and go ahead and do the last part of the design. So I'm going to switch the camera back. And then let me read y'all comments real quick, and then I'll switch the camera so I can show y'all how to move the design and select your next design. Thank you, Merlinda. Yes, you guys, don't forget to hit the like button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Great info. I never knew you could reposition on. Yeah, Shantae, you sure can. Good to know. I also started small and sold enough items to move on up really quick. Not breaking the bank. Exactly. Start with what you're comfortable with paying for. And as you learn more, some people may get a machine and they're like, I don't even want to do this anymore. Don't invest the entire or a bunch of money, a ton of money, and then you're like, okay, I don't even want to do this. Yeah, you could sell the machine. Embroidery machines do hold their value. A lot of people are getting into embroidery now. You can put it on marketplace. They do sell easily. I sold a couple machines and they went like within a couple days. But start small and work your way up. Make sure that it's something that you want to do long term, whether it's for hobby, for business, whatever you're going to be embroidering for. Just start small and then grow from there. And if you feel like it's not something that you want to do, then you didn't drop thousands of dollars on a machine and now you're like, okay, now I got to try and sell it. Okay, Milltown. 34. And what's crazy, Vanessa, it used to always be like below zero on my birthday. And that was another reason that I wanted to leave. Like, I was like, I can't take this anymore. It's too cold. Like that, when that below zero hit, no. I don't even go to Milwaukee in the wintertime. Like, I don't have a winter coat for one. I have a light jacket, but my winter coat the weather in Milwaukee would disrespect my little coat. So, we done passed out trying to do that. I know you ain't talking a lot because all the equipment and stuff you got in your house, I'm surprised you don't have an embroidery machine yet. I am so surprised. Exactly, unbiased. There's a lot of people that are getting into it. And I've also noticed a lot of people that aren't really learning the basics. They're just like, okay, I'm getting an embroidery machine and I'm going to start a business. I'm like, I had to comment on somebody's video on TikTok like last week because they were getting frustrated and was like, I don't know why my design is turning out like this. I was like, let me see the back. And they didn't use any stabilizer. I was like, that's your problem. That's your problem right there. Use some tearaway stabilizer because you're trying to make a sweatshirt. Also check your tension, make sure your tension's good, and do a test stitch first because the design might not be digitized correctly. So yeah, a lot of people are getting into embroidery, but not really learning the basics. Oh, 40s in Louisiana. See, you feel my pain. That's why I'm like, I'm in the desert. It's not supposed to be 44 degrees. Like, no. This is just wrong. And I'm like, okay, where else can I move to where it's warm year round? And of course, Mexico. We're still focused on Mexico. But I'm just like, yeah, it's too cold. It's too cold. I know because I'm from Jersey, so okay. Yeah, that below zero is no punk. And just I think about it now. In my 20s, y'all, it would be like 2 degrees outside, and me and some friends, we would be on our way to the club, just maybe with like a sweater on, some little shorts, and some knee-high boots. I'm like, oh, I was crazy. Like trying to get myself sick. But of course, at that age, I was just like, hey, you just going out trying to be cute. Not thinking about, okay, you might get frostbite. Yeah, unbiased. Yep. No stabilizer, nothing. Just I don't know if she bought the design or if I think she got the design. It might have been on Creative Fabrica. And that's one thing I noticed. The designs on Creative Fabrica are hit or miss. I've downloaded from there. I see a cute design, and some of them do not stitch out good, but the majority of them have. So always do a test stitch. I always tell people do a test stitch because you don't know how the design is going to stitch out before you mess up your garment. Very important. Yeah, the basics. You want to, what stabilizer should I use, or what fabric, what thread, what needle, what tension. Like, there's so much to learn, and it's not something that you're going to learn within like a week. It's going to take time. I'm still learning stuff. As you know, I watch other crafters on here on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. You're always going to be learning, because there's always, you know, if you stick to one thing, especially if you try something different, you're going to have to switch some things up. So it's definitely always going to be a learning process. Oh yeah, y'all. I was out there. I was out there clubbing and not even thinking about getting sick. Like, I didn't care at all. And now I step outside, like today, my little jacket, a scarf, a hat. And the crazy thing is 44 degrees actually isn't that bad if I was still living in Wisconsin. It's almost like that's kind of borderline spring weather. It's like, oh, it's still nice. But here, I'm like, it's freezing. I guess after your body gets adjusted to the weather out here, like, yeah, my level of cold has changed. So if I were to go to Milwaukee in the wintertime, yeah, I wouldn't survive. Like, I would just be in the house wherever I was staying and I wouldn't come out. Like, while I was in town, anybody that wants to see me would have to come to where I'm at, because I wouldn't leave. Yes, you're always going to be learning in embroidery. Just crafting in general, it's always going to be a learning. You're always going to be learning more and more. And again, you might learn something from someone else that you didn't know, or you're trying a new craft, and again, you have to do things a different way, or you have to use a different needle or a different stabilizer, or you know, you're going to have to adjust your tension, things like that. When I posted the video about this digital tension gauge on TikTok, when I tell you, so many people was in my comments like, I didn't even know this existed. I was like, a lot of times the bobbin is the issue. If you have one of these, and you can use this for your upper thread tension as well. A lot of people didn't even know like a digital tension gauge existed. And I was just like, wow. Yeah, I'm never coming there in the winter. Even when I come there in the summer, I'm coming there in the hottest month. Like, it's got to be July, August, because that heat still isn't as hot. I mean, you get like to 118 degrees here in the summer. And I don't mind the heat at all. I do not mind the heat. It's the cold that I don't like. Yep. Yeah, your body adapts after you've been here for so long, and you go somewhere else and it's like, yeah, it is a little bit chilly. Like now, yeah, me going back to the Midwest just ain't happening ever in the winter. I'm X. Thank you so much for joining the channel memberships. Thank you. So I will be adding some more designs for my channel members, and I'm going through the comments. Let me finish these last couple comments, and then we're going to switch so we can do our shirt, finish up our shirt. I'm having a good time chatting with y'all right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch the camera back so we can finish up our shirt, then we'll come back and chat. So let me switch my camera. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, the first half has stitched out really good. I love me a good satin stitch. And so now there is still, let me move this a little bit. So there is still this last little color here, and that's just a basting stitch. So you don't have to do that. I am going to exit out. Now it's just going to actually put like a little stitch here, like right here at the bottom, and then it'll do another stitch at the top. So it'll help you kind of line up the design. But again, long as you don't move anything, long as you don't rotate your design, long as you don't resize it, you will be fine without doing this last little stitch here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and exit out. I'm going to back out. And we are going to go back into my flash drive. Hold on, y'all. My camera went out. Okay, there we go. We're going to go back into my flash drive. And if you notice, I put all my designs in folders just so I can stay organized. And let me make sure you can see that. And let me go back here. And so that's it. So we just did this first one. This one right here, again, remember, it's going to have MA, and then there's going to be a red line there right after the A. That's letting you know also, in addition to the file being labeled 1 and 2, that'll be another indicator for you that you're using the first half. That second design right here, we're going to select that, and that's going to have a blue line on there. So that's another indicator in addition to the 2 designs. That way you'll know what's what. So then I'll go ahead and we're going to select the second half. You don't move anything, just leave it exactly where it is. Don't resize it, don't make any changes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unhoop. So remember, before we were on, oh, let me lift my foot up. So first we were on the first and the second. And then now, and I'm going to move these clips off of here. We're going to move on to the number 3 and number 4. And let me make sure I got that one there, and I don't. Okay, so now we have our design on there, and I'm also going to do what I did on the other side, which is I'm going to now clip this end back here, but I'm still going to watch to make sure that nothing stitches together. We don't want anything stitching together. So I want to make sure my vinyl is good, and I'm going to grab my scissors because I need to cut my HTV down a little bit to the hoop. And I'm going to just mark it first where I need to cut it, and then cut it. That way it'll lay down more flush in the hoop. And just be careful if you're doing this like me so you don't cut your sweatshirt. And then I'm just going to straighten this all out. And that is perfect. Straighten this side out as well. And then now I'm going to go ahead and, again, I have my clips here. I'll go ahead and start clipping my shirt. Just want to make sure that your shirt is out the way. You don't want to stitch nothing together. I've done that. Ruin the whole shirt. So, and then I'm going to clip. Just make sure this stays down as well. So I have a clip here and then a couple in the back. And then I'm going to just smooth everything out. All right. And again, we're not touching our design at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and let my foot down. And then we'll go ahead and hit, we're going to hit the edit in. And it looks like my camera has a little bit of a delay. Hold on, let me switch back and then switch back to this camera. Okay, there we go. All right, so I went ahead and clipped my shirt. Since we got that second half, you want to adjust it. So I took the clips off of this end, but I still have some on here, especially right where we're going to be embroidering at, just to make sure that the shirt stays out the way and nothing stitches together. And then I have a couple clips in the back that you probably can't see as well, but just go ahead and either roll it up, clip it, pin it, whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't stitch anything together. So now we have our second design loaded. We'll go ahead and hit edit in. And of course, we want to do a trace. So I'll go ahead and select my trace. And we just kind of want to watch. And I got to move that clip out the way, or kind of adjust that clip because it did hit the machine and you don't want those problems. So I have that on there. All right. And when you do that trace, you're going to notice where it's going to look like it's overlapping, but it's not going to start stitching right there. There's actually going to be a little bit of space like it has between the first M and the A, and that's where it'll start stitching. So when you do your trace, it's giving you kind of the estimate of where your design is going to embroider. But the way I digitized this was to make sure there was a little overlap, but at the same time, it's going to start stitching out just a little bit over to the left of that design, okay? So our trace is good, and then we'll go ahead and let our foot down. Actually, it's already down. And then we'll hit embroider. And then even though we already have our glitter down, so if, again, you were doing fabric, this is, it'll go ahead and do that placement stitch. And then after that, then you'll lay down your fabric. You can do your tack down stitch. And then from there, you would cut it and then let it finish doing the satin stitch. So I already have my glitter on here. So we'll go ahead and hit start. And it is going to start. And that is very close. And actually, that's the one stitch I was telling you about, which that's just lining the design up. So you can actually skip that. It's not mandatory that you do that, but it's just kind of letting you know. And it'll be an easy stitch that you can just take with your seam ripper or some tweezers and remove. So now we'll go ahead and let me just make sure this stays out the way. And doing our stitch. It did not stitch. It didn't overlap. It went right next to it. So there's still some space right there. So even though when you do that trace, it's going to look like it's overlapping, but it is not actually going to overlap. Just smoothing out my glitter. And if getting close to the machine makes you nervous, get you this is a crochet hook, a crochet needle. I'm not even sure what you call it because I don't do crochet, but get you one of these, get you some chopsticks that you can hold it down if you want to, if it makes you nervous. I definitely use these when I'm doing certain, like the yarn designs on my multi-needle, on my Ricoma, because yeah, that just scares me sometimes. But if it makes you nervous about, holding things down, get you some chopsticks, get you a crochet needle, and you can use something like that. So that would be our placement stitch, is that first stitch. So whenever there's an applique design, there's always going to be 3 stitches. So you're going to have your placement stitch, you're going to have your tack down stitch, and then your satin stitch. So your placement stitch is going to be that first stitch showing you how we initially did this half, where we need to lay our fabric, our vinyl, whatever material that we're using. And then the second stitch, you'll lay down your fabric. It'll stitch out that second stitch, which is your tack down stitch. So that'll basically tack down whatever material that you're sewing to your garment. And then once that does that tack down stitch, which this will be the tack down stitch, if we were using fabric for this design, once this finishes, then we would go back and we would have to trim down our material. And again, get you a good pair of applique scissors. If you're going to purchase an embroidery machine, add a pair of these to your cart. You're going to need them, okay? They have a nice little curve to them. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Joann's. If you're getting them from Amazon, just Google applique scissors and they will come right up. There's also some that are a little bit smaller, like these here Fiskars. So, but they both have the curve to them. And so this will be your placement stitch. I'm sorry, your tack down stitch. I keep saying placement stitch, your tack down stitch. So this is just showing you where you would need, or just doing that stitch so you can then go back. And once it stops, you would go ahead and trim down your fabric. And so it's going to do the same for each letter. And usually the placement stitch and the tack down stitch only take about a couple of minutes. So it doesn't take long at all. Let me go and check out y'all comments. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, RMX. Thank you again for joining. Oh, from Vegas. Well, yeah, you live in Vegas, but I didn't know you were from Cali. We don't own exactly, Shantae. We've stayed at a hotel in Cali, and at night, like, we got cold, and the heater did not work. So my husband went down to the front desk, and he was like, "Hey, we need maintenance because the heater is not working." They was like, "Yeah, we don't have no heat." We was like, "What y'all talking about? We paying like how much a night for this hotel room, and y'all ain't got no heat?" And yeah, they was like, "Nope, we ain't got no heat." So, and we were staying like right on Redondo Beach at the Portofino. It was cold to us. So now when we're staying there, or we're staying at any hotels in the winter months, we take a little heater with us because I ain't got time for that. I was so offended when they was like, we don't have any heaters. But yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, the cold days, like I said, they're not that bad. It's just once your body kind of adjusts. But with you being from Cali, you kind of, you weren't used to like super cold weather. But it does get cold, especially in Northern California. All right, let me switch the camera around, and then I will switch it back when we're unhooping so I can show you the finished result. Soyini said welcome. Soyini is a part of the memberships, the channel memberships as well. My first embroidery machine stopped for 1 year. What? After my first try, attempting again, I realized the problem was me, user error. And that's completely okay. I still have user errors to this day. So just know it'll be ongoing. But things happen. Don't get discouraged. I mean, trust me, I've messed up shirts on both my Ricoma and my single needle machines. And I've come to a point where I'm just like, okay, how am I gonna fix this? Or what am I gonna do different so this doesn't happen again? So initially you will get frustrated, trust me, I did. I was ready to throw the whole machine away, but just keep going, just keep practicing. Hey, Shantae, joined the channel memberships. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that has joined today, RFX and Shantae. Oh, okay, I got you. No problem, girlie. And so, again, the last half of the design is going to take about 15 minutes. And if y'all notice, I keep looking over just to make sure that this is together, because it seems like as soon as you turn your head, something happens. And it's almost like after you start doing embroidery for a while, you can almost you can hear it. Like right when it's about to happen, it's like, oh, bird break. Oh, bird nesting. Even before the machine beeps, you already, it's like a sound that you just get used to. And you're like, yeah, I turned my head for 2 seconds too long, and now I got a problem. Now, this machine, you would think you get a multi-needle machine, so you don't have to worry, you don't have to babysit it. Yeah, you still kind of have to babysit it. Just to make sure, everything's running smooth, there's no thread breaks. You kind of almost want to catch things before they happen. I joined very late. Did you say this is the 5x12 hoop? Yeah, Yolanda, this is the 5x12, the repositional hoop. And so I did a split design. This is the design I dropped in the Facebook group and for the members as well, the YouTube channel members. But yeah, it's a split design using the 5x12 repositional hoop. So with the 5x7, like this machine has a 5x7 max embroidery field. So you're basically splitting your design in half. So you're going to stitch one half and then you're going to move the hoop and stitch the other half. So the machine technically still thinks it's making a 5x7 design. It's just two different files that you're using to fit within that hoop. So long as your design is within that 5x12 range, well, more like 4.5 by 11.5, then you could split it and do larger designs, whether you're using a 5x7 or you have a 5x7 max embroidery field or a 4x4 max embroidery field. 5x7, the design, you'll only need 2 files. They'll be split into 2. The 4x4, the file has to be split into 3 designs because you're going to have to move the hoop 3 times instead of 2, like I'm doing on this one. None of the hoops have my connectors, so no large. Oh, really? Which machine do you have? Because yeah, there are some that don't have the connectors for the particular, or that hoop for that particular machine. Try Amazon. Where's another place? Dang, what's the name of where I got this hoop from? So this is a magnetic hoop. I think I got this from, oh, I'm gonna have to remember. I have it linked, so I'll have to post it. But this is a magnetic hoop that I got, and this is for this particular machine. But they may have different connectors on there, and I believe they have the 5x12 hoops on there as well. I have to get the name for this. It's a snap hoop. That's the name of it, Snap Hoop. They're on Amazon as well. So try looking up Snap Hoop. And if you can't find it on Amazon, try going to Sewing Machines Plus website, sewingmachinesplus.com, and put in their Snap Hoop, and it'll bring up all the hoops that they have, and just see if they have one for your particular machine. Because they have them for brother, they have them for baby locks, they have them for biking, different machines. So try there, you might find. Oh, you do? Did you try the Mama design yet, Merlinda, or are you gonna try it later? Now this is a simple one. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more complex one next time. I figure out, let you dip your toes in the water, let you get your feet wet, and then I'll go and do something a little bit more complex. But this one should be pretty simple. Once you learn and get comfortable with the process, then you're like, oh, okay, that's nothing. But it's a lot of people I've noticed don't make a lot of repositional or designs for the repositional hoop. So that's why I've started working on some more, because there is one lady on Amazon that I found, and she made one. The first one stitched out good. The second one, I was like, okay, I know how to do these, and it kept overlapping. I was like, what the heck? So I don't know. I don't know if it was user error or if it was the design, but I was like, okay, I'll just do my own. Of course, friend, you're welcome. Can't wait to see how the shirt turns out. Yeah, it is looking good. The M just finished, and now we're moving over to the A. So we are almost there. I know, I was telling you, Yolanda, you kind of got to tone it down a little bit on YouTube, but yeah, on TikTok and Facebook, yeah, I'll be acting a mess. It's just, yeah, people be trolling over there, and so I be trolling them back. Yeah, Yolanda, you already know how I get down. Let's see what else. Tried the two-tone shirt, was going great until messed up both. Oh no, what happened with the shirt? Like as far as like the stitching out, or like when you stitched the shirt back together, or when you did the embroidery design. And then those shirts too, I've had people that just bought just the two-tone shirt for me, and they wanted to put like a DTF print on it, or they wanted to use vinyl on it or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll make it for you. But yeah, with those, you really have to line up, make sure your design is centered. So, with the shirt being two-tone, you want to make sure your design lines up good. Let me see here. Let me go back in the chat. I think I missed some comments. Okay, maybe I did. Okay, I missed some stuff. Oh my gosh, it's hot in here. I think the hoodie turned the heat up. Oh, catching replays. Okay. Okay. Tell me about it. As soon as you blink, for a second too long. It's like, oh, why did I blink? Because that's why now when I'm using this machine, I'm like, I keep my eye on it. I keep it right next to me, whatever I'm working on, and then I have the machine right here so I can keep looking over. Because I've stitched way too many shirts together, and I should know better. Y'all, for real, yeah, the trolls be out in full effect. And I will troll you right back. No filter. Because you know over there on TikTok, they don't care. So no filter. But you trolling me, please believe I'm coming right back and trolling you. Oh, you talking? Yeah, the HoopMaster. Yep, the Snap HoopMaster. Yes, that's what it's called. I could not think of the name of it for nothing. The PE535. Okay, that's the one that you have. So that one has the 4x4 hoop. So yeah, your design, if you want to do a larger 5x12 or use their 5x12 hoop, then you'll have to have your design split into 3. And I'm gonna make a design, and I'll also drop it in the group. It'll be sometime within the next few weeks, and then I'll go live and show you how. Well, yeah, I can show you. I was thinking like I don't even have my 4x4 machine anymore, but I can still show you the process even though I'll be using this machine. So yeah, I can show you that process as well. And then Greg also wanted to see how to do sleeve designs. So I'll have to do that one on another live so you can see the process, because there's a couple ways that you could do those with a single needle. Hey, how you been? The stitch out. Oh, it bird nested. Oh man, at the end of the file had too much. Oh, okay. It was pink and green for Wicked. Ooh, pink and green for Wicked. I like that. That would be a good one. Well, definitely retry it. You know, don't get discouraged. I mean, I know what it feels like, but at least you do have the other two halves of the shirt that you know you can sew those two together and then redo the design on that shirt. All day. That's one thing I'm gonna do. You troll me, I'm gonna troll you right back. Y'all, my husband's a troll. He be trolling me. I'm like, bruh, I will sew all your pants legs together. Do not troll me. And we are done with our design. So I'm gonna take it off the hoop and we get it cleaned up and show you what it looks like. Hey, that's this. How are you doing? Welcome in. Working on a split design using the 5x12 repositional hoop that just finished. So I'm about to take it off the machine to show y'all how it turned out. Let's see. I would like to see how you do a tack down stitch on the single needle machine, please. So the tack down stitch, like that I was just doing. So in the beginning of the video, you'll be able to see it from the beginning before I put the full piece of HTV glitter on there. First, it'll do the placement stitch, and then I put the glitter on there, the HTV, and then it did the tack down stitch, and then the final satin stitch. So it is in the video. It's just going to be in the very beginning. I'm hanging in there. Been in my laser. Oh, you got a laser engraver? Nice. What you making tonight? So a split mama design that I sent to those my channel members and those in the Facebook group to test out. And I had some people that said they never done split designs or they want to do larger designs. So I'm like, test this out. Let me know if you can do it. And then I do have some more designs that I'm gonna drop as well. Thank you so much, Merlinda. Yes, Carol, it has been a while. My work schedule was weird. I didn't have the weekends off. My days kept moving, but now I'm good. I got a decent work schedule. So I have my Saturdays and Sundays off again. So you will be seeing more of me on live. I'll still be doing my premiere videos and then just posting videos as well as my shorts, but I'll be going live and we'll be doing more stitch outs, rhinestone design, sublimation, things like that together. Okay, yeah, it's not too far along in the beginning. You'll be able to see the actual stitch out. So let me go ahead and move this out the way. We'll get this off the machine. Well, I'm gonna take my clips off of here first, and then I'll take it off the machine so I can show y'all. And just slide my shirt up underneath. Okay, there we go. And let me just move my machine back. Move this out the way. Okay. So now I can get this cleaned up. And first thing I'm going to do is clean up the back. Now you can use your scissors. I'm just going to use my lighter and just burn the threads off. It's just quicker. It's not something that you have to do. And then these little placement stitches, might have to get my seam ripper for that. Yeah, I will. That's why I say the placement stitch or where it's showing you is going to do 2 little stitches. You can skip that part. I might redigitize the file and take it out, but like there's one right there and then there's one right there. That's just showing you, making sure it's lined up when you do your trace. So there's one at the end of the first half of the MA, and then there's going to be another one at the beginning of the second half. So it's just basically helping you line up, but it's not really mandatory as long as you don't move the design. So if you're resizing the design, you're trying to make it bigger for whatever reason, you might have some issues. So that's why I say don't resize it. Just ask your digitizer to make the file bigger for you and send you those 2 separate files so you won't have issues. Otherwise, you may get a crooked shirt or it may overlap. Dang, is my lighter getting low? So yeah, and I'm not going to burn those 2 because I am going to use my seam ripper to remove those. But you can also skip those steps. You can skip that one. Just go into your needle, your plus or minus, and then just skip to the next color. And again, you don't have to use a lighter. It just seems quicker to me to clean up the back this way. And then we'll unhoop, cut down our stabilizer, tear away our HTV, and I'll also need to do a heat press on this because it is HTV. You should, when you're using fabric, you should use Heat and Bond on there, Heat and Bond Light, and then you'll want to press that afterwards too. Hey, we got another channel member. Welcome to the channel memberships. And thank you so much for joining the channel memberships. I greatly appreciate you supporting the channel. And we will have some fun content and some live Zooms as well coming for the channel members. So everybody will be able to get up in the Zoom and ask their questions, share our work, kind of like some stitch alongs, things like that I have planned for you guys. And I'm just getting this all cut down. And now it does not have to be perfect. I'm just looking for my seam ripper. When you're cutting down your stabilizer, it doesn't have to be fancy. Nobody's going to see the inside of it except for the person wearing it and you. And I'm just using my seam ripper so I can get that thread off of there. And be very careful with this. You don't want to cut a hole in your shirt. And so I cut it down, and that is how the stabilizer is looking. Thank you to everyone that has joined the channel memberships today. Thank you everyone that is already a channel member. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let me go through. Thank you, Merlinda. Somebody said congratulations. Soyini's also a member. Said thank you, everyone. Vanessa. Thank you, Donzel. And so this is how we're looking right now. So we're going to go ahead and tear that HTV away. And that's the one thing I love about the HTV. It just tears right on up. And so you really don't need any scissors. You may need like tweezers or something to get into the smaller parts, but overall you can just tear it on up and get the majority of it. Unless it's a more detailed design, then yeah, you're definitely going to have to break out your snips or something like that. I'm dropping stuff all on the floor, completely missing the garbage can. Okay, and so the pieces that didn't come up, I'm going to just go back and rip those up. If there's any small areas I can't get, then I will just go ahead and grab my tweezers. And that's the one thing that I love about using HTV is that you don't even have to pull out the applique scissors. And I am going to need my tweezers just for that little part inside the A. Now you can leave that. I do like to remove mine. I've seen people that leave it there. I see people that remove it. I like to remove mine, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I think we are cleaned up. So this here, like right inside the A, some people do leave that there, but you can take it out if you want to. I'm going to remove mine. So I'm going to just take my tweezers and, ooh, I should have tied my hair back. So I'm going to just take my tweezers and lift underneath there, and usually it'll pop right up, and then I'll just peel the rest off. If I can get it, there we go. And then I'll just take my nail and peel the rest of it off. And then I'll do the same with the other one. All right, and I will show you the difference. And so that's with the pieces cut out in the middle of the A. So that's how our shirt turned out. I do have a thread right here that I need to cut. And another one right here from when the design started on each half. And a couple pieces of HTV to clean up. And that is it. So that is how she turned out. So don't be afraid of multi hoop or, well, split design, should I say. They're not as complex as you think they are. You just want to make sure that they're digitized correctly. So always, always, always do a test stitch before you stitch out on anything. I don't care if you're the digitizer. I test stitch all my own designs because sometimes when you're looking at it on that screen in your digitizing software, it looks great. You go through the player, you play out the whole design, you're watching everything like, okay, this is gonna stitch out good. And then you stitch it out onto your garment and you're like, yeah, this didn't stitch out good. So, and you have to go back and make some adjustments. So always use an old t-shirt, use some fabric, some cheap fabric. Like what I'll do is I'll keep felt and cotton fabric from Joann's. Whenever they have a sale and I have a coupon, I'll buy yards of it. And I'll use that, or I'll use an old t-shirt or something like that that I have around. Or you could just use a couple pieces of cutaway stabilizer, hoop that up, and do a test stitch on that. So just always test your designs before you stitch it out onto your garment, regardless of who's digitizing your designs or where you're purchasing them from. You never know if there's going to be an issue. So you want to catch that issue before you stitch it onto your garment. Let me go through y'all comments here. CA Craft World, hey, how are you? How are you doing today? Deborah said, hey, to all the new friends, yes. Everybody that's been joining it live, thank you so much for the engagement, the new channel members. I appreciate all of y'all for engaging and being active in the chat, asking questions, chatting amongst each other. Okay, Unbiased, thanks for joining. You have a great evening too. Thank you, Merlinda. Blessed Hands by Lillian. Welcome to the channel memberships. Thank you so much to RM, Shantae. We got Blessed Hands by Lillian, Marshall. Thank you all for joining the channel memberships. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me go and check. Let me, excuse me, y'all. I still have my cough from when I was sick. And I feel better. I just can't get rid of this cough. Thank you, Donzel. And then next Sunday, I will be live. The following Sunday, I may not be live because that's the weekend that I'll be in Long Beach for Impressions, depending on the fires that's going on there. I know they're like up in LA in the hills, but still got to keep an eye out on that to see how that is hopefully not progressing. And yeah, but yeah, not this coming Sunday, the following Sunday. I may not be live that Sunday. I may actually just post a vlog from while I'm at the expo. You know, you can't really record in there. You can do a little bit of recording. Well, you're not supposed to. You can take pictures, but you're not supposed to record while you're there. I think the only person like they actually let record in there is John Deere, and he's the GOAT. So of course they ain't gonna tell him no. Thank you. Now, yeah, we definitely are. We'll be in Long Beach, so it'll definitely be away. But the last time that we were there, this was a few years ago. There was a fire there. We were just, in Redondo, just staying for the weekend, and it was fires there. But they were up like in the mountains. But when we came out of the hotel the next morning, like there was ash all on our car, and the fires were far away, but it was still like ash all on our car that morning. So that's why we're like just making sure we haven't even booked our room yet. I mean, I already got our admissions for impressions. But I'm just like, yeah, we're kind of hesitant on booking the room. We just want to make sure everything's good before, because we're going to drive. We're not going to fly. So yeah. But the way you're driving from Vegas, you're not coming in, like it's not like we're having to drive through it or anything like that. So in Long Beach is a little bit ways from LA, but you never know. Thank you, Donzel. Yes. Yes, Shantae, I will be there. We're gonna get there Thursday night, but Friday is gonna be a garment district day. Y'all already know. Actually, I might go live while I'm down in the garment district because there's some new vendors I found that I want to go check out and look at their merch. And I'll definitely let you guys know about them. I just want to look at the quality in person for like varsity jackets. There's some places where I found some other like embroidery supplies I want to check out. I got a list of stuff, y'all. I got a list of places. So, of course, I'll stop by Axiland. But yeah, maybe I'll vlog. But that Friday, we're going to be downtown LA. We're just gonna spend that whole day. Well, the majority of the morning and afternoon, because I got to go to the fabric district. And then I also want to I found a place that has minky fabric that is a good price. So I want to get some more minky fabric for making blankets, baby blankets. And so I want to check that vendor out. There is a new rhinestone vendor I want to check out as well. So I'll let y'all know about them, and just walking around buying stuff. But I'll be there. I'm going to the actual expo on Saturday. So I'll be at the expo on Saturday, and then we'll be coming back sometime Sunday afternoon. Well, thank you so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Are you going, Shantae? Mm. Oh, you're struggling with the chat on your phone? Oh, no. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be going. It's good because you get to network, you get to see machines up close and personal. Like, I do want to look at some of the DTF machines, get pricing. That's the one good thing. If you have not been to Expo, I know they have 3 different ones. They do Long Beach. I believe Long Beach is the biggest one. Don't quote me on that. That's what I heard. But Long Beach, I believe Texas, and then Atlantic City. So they do 3 of them, and they try to, kind of space it out across the country. So there may be one that might be a little bit closer to you coming sometime later on in the year, but it's just brands, just companies, embroidery machines, sewing machines, even Mighty Hoops is there. You have people selling vinyl, patch material. You have just all kinds of companies, DTF companies, printer, DTG, and everything that you could think of for being in this industry, the garment decoration industry. They're probably going to be there, and you can ask questions, you can make contacts, have those contacts, connections, network. You get to meet other creators that are there as well, meet some of your supporters, things like that. So it's definitely worth it. I did add a free code in my Facebook group. So if you want to register, now the free registration is over. You definitely have to pay. The free registration is like back in October, but you can use that code, and I'll put it on the community tab as well. And you can register for free. Otherwise, it's $75. And that just gets you interest to the expo showroom floor where all the vendors are going to be. They do have classes that you can sign up for and take on just all kinds of variety of stuff. Just Google impressions Long Beach, and it'll show you a list of every vendor that's going to be there. It'll show you the classes that they have available. It'll give you all of that information. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody before I get off of here. We're coming up on 2.5 hours, but that was a nice little long design. And then me chatting with y'all. Oh, thank you, Shantae. Hopefully you tried to design tonight. Okay, yeah, let me know how it turned out for you. You are very much welcome, Donzel. See you next Sunday. This was an awesome live. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. I will see you for sure next Sunday. I'll make sure to post the link. And I will be using the new streaming software because, like I was saying before, StreamYard went up on a price. They took away the extra camera. So I can only share one camera instead of 2 or 3. So, yeah. So I'll be playing around with that software next week. So y'all bear with me. I'm going to try. I might do a test sometime this week just so I can get more comfortable and familiar with that streaming software first. But I appreciate all y'all joining in, sticking through the stitch out and the live. Thank you, Vanessa, and you have a good night as well. Let's see, I have to try it in a 4x7 size. Yeah, so I can actually take that mama design and shrink it down, or I can duplicate it, shrink it down, and then split it for the 4x7. So I can do that as well. And I can drop that in the group and I'll send it to the members. I'll put it in the Google Drive link as well. Good night, Shantae. You are very much welcome, Brandy. Thank you so much for modding, Merlinda. I appreciate you. Consuela. Oh, that's okay. So you can watch the replay. I will be going live next week again. I'll be doing some other type of design I haven't figured out yet. And then in a few weeks, I'll also be doing a 3 split design for the 4x4 max embroidery machine, and then using the 5x12 repositional hoop. So I'll walk you through doing that. It's pretty much the same process as this one we just did. It's just that extra step. And thank you to everyone that became channel members. Greg, for 12 months. Greg been rocking with me for a minute. Thank you so much, Greg. And then we have RMX that became a new member. My girl Shantae, who is also good with embroidery and digitizing. We have Marshall, as well as Lillian. Blessed Hands by Lillian. So thank you all so much. I appreciate y'all. And if you have not, let me drop the link for the Facebook group so you can check it out here. Let me drop that in the chat for y'all. And there's the link for the Facebook group. And then if you wanted to look into the channel memberships, I will drop that link here for you as well. There you go. Yes, I'm looking forward to it too. We are going to get you embroidering. Thank you so much, Marcia. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, everyone. Stephanie, Pretty Eyes. Hey. So I will be checking y'all out next Sunday. I do have a video that I should be posting Wednesday or Thursday. I just have to edit it down. And then I'll be posting some more videos. So I'll be going live again on Sundays. And then normally Wednesdays will be my video days where I'm just posting a tutorial for you guys. But otherwise, I will see you on next Sunday, or I'll see you in the live chat of the next video. It will be a premiere video. Oh yeah, Merlinda, let me get that. I definitely can. Let me just find it. The one link I didn't have ready. I thought I had it on my little list here. Un momento, por favor. One moment, please. I'm gonna actually go to my Amazon storefront and copy it. And that way I'll have it ready for next time too. Yeah, I have so many links. This is crazy. Okay, here we go. Okay, and here is the Amazon storefront. So I do update that usually a couple times a month with any new items that I purchase from there that I feel, might be helpful or useful, or things that I really like. So those would be, and I believe it's the craft essentials folder. So if you click on the craft one, it'll come up and it'll give you a whole bunch. It'll give you machines, stabilizers, threads, hoops, scissors, pretty much everything y'all see me using in my videos pretty much comes from Amazon. So I'll all that stuff, I always have linked there. I'll put it in my Amazon storefront so you can find it easily. Thank you so much for the reminder, Melinda. And I'm going to make sure to add that to my links. So I'll have that next time. I'm adding that now. Okay, so all right, y'all, I'm going to get off of here because it is 7:31 and I got to start getting ready for work tomorrow. So I will see y'all Wednesday in the live chat of the premiere video. I'll post that and I'll make sure to put it on the community tab. I'll drop it in the Facebook group, and then I'll see y'all next Sunday. Thank you, everybody, for watching the entire live. I appreciate you. Thank you for the new channel members and the new subscribers and liking the video. So I will see y'all Wednesday and I'll see you live next Sunday. Bye, y'all.